Trading is the best part of fantasy football. Yeah, your team might not have done so well in week 1, or maybe you did great, but now is time to take advantage of people's worries.
Yes.
So we're going to give you trade for targets and 2 trade away targets. Badaki, who is your first trade for of the week?
My first trade for the week is Najee Harris. 16 attempts and 45 yards. Yes, it wasn't as good, but look, they started to work him in the second half. 61% of Najee's yardage was gained after the contact. Look, the man was fighting for yards. I'm expecting a great bounce back week against the Raiders in week 2. You saw what Tyson Williams did to the Raiders defense. I expect Najee to be taking off in this matchup.
I love it. I think Najee Harris is getting the workload as well.
That's
Opportunity
right,
is king in fantasy, so not great first week, but great matchups coming up. All right, my first trade for target is Ezekiel Elliott. There are 2 reasons that Zeke was completely irrelevant against the Bucs last week, okay? Number 1, the Bucs are the best run defense in the entire league.
Right.
And number 2, it was quite obvious. The Cowboys' entire game plan was to combat that run defense through the air. Dak Prescott threw 58 passing attempts. They're not going to be able to continue this offensive style. It needs to be a more balanced offense to keep defenses guessing.
Right.
Okay, and they're not going to be playing this Bucs defense every week as well. Pollard, I know you're probably worried about him. He was very efficient with his touches, but Zeke was still on the field for 70+% of snaps on Thursday night. Zeke also ran a ton of routes, okay? So if you're worried, is he not getting involved in the passing game? He ran a ton of routes, and there was a flat that he ran in the red zone where Dak Prescott should have hit him earlier. It would have been a touchdown. The chemistry was just slightly off. Friendly reminder, Zach Martin is back this week. Now is the time, people, to take advantage of the owner who is worried about Zeke. This is still a top 5 running back in fantasy. You're going to regret it if you don't send out some trade offers. Get him on your team.
Yeah, I've sent plenty of trade offers for Zeke. Another guy I sent plenty of trade offers for is Ronald Jones.
Woo, okay.
Look,
tell the people.
First of all, you need to calm down, okay? Ronald Jones, yes, he had a terrible week. Yes, he probably finished with negative points. Yes, he had a fumble. Yes, he was benched for the rest of the game against the Cowboys. But
Give me the bright side, please.
Yeah,
I need the bright side.
I expect Ronald Jones to be starting here in this game. There's actually already reports that Ronald Jones is going to be starting. What does that mean? That means this team believes in him. That means they want him. They want to give him the ball. Okay, so take advantage of that Ronald Jones owner, because it was like, you know what? I don't want a guy that's scoring negative points on my team. There's no way that's happening.
Getting him pretty cheap as well.
The next matchup for Ronald Jones is the Atlanta Falcons. You saw what Miles did. You saw what Kenneth Gainwell did. Ronald Jones is going to have a massive, massive bounce back game. Ronald Jones, people.
All right, my second trade for target is Julio Jones. If you're worried because you have Julio, let me ease your mind. There are 2 big reasons the Titans got destroyed by the Cardinals on Sunday.
Right.
Number 1, their offensive line could not stop anyone. I probably could have got a sack on Ryan Tannehill on Sunday. Number 2, the defense was terrible. Number 2 is very good for fantasy purposes. It's good that the defense is still bad because this Titans offense needs to score a bunch of points.
Right.
Here's the deal. This offensive line, more in particular, is still decent. It's a good offensive line.
Right.
They got their ass kicked. Taylor Lewin, who is the left tackle for them, literally went to Twitter to say, I got my ass kicked. I will be better. I love the accountability for this team. They know they are a better team than what they showed on Sunday. Expect them to use that accountability to show exactly what was wrong and to fix it. When the run game is better, when you can protect Ryan Tannehill, both of those things combined is going to allow Julio Jones to be a much better fantasy asset. He didn't look quite comfortable yet. Give him some time. I think a lot of people will be worried about him. So I'm looking to go grab Julio Jones on the low if I can right now.
Yeah, Julio's a good guy. We'll see.
I know you're not so sure on this one, but I want Julio on my team still.
A guy that I am sure about is Aaron Jones. Look, what happens to the Packers when they lose badly? Huh? Aaron Rodgers comes in and he's gonna go crazy. Not just Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Robert Tynan, Devontae Adams, anyone on this team that is fantasy relevant is gonna take off because they were disrespected by Jameis Winston and the Saints. Okay, if you believe that Aaron Jones is only gonna have 5 attempts a game, you're wrong. you're crazy. That's not happening. Okay, I expect a lot more to come out of Aaron Jones, especially in this week because he's playing the Lions, a division rival, a game that's going to be on primetime Monday Night Football, where they're going to say, you know what, that week 1 game, it was a mistake, it was a fluke.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones is going to have a crazy bounce back game, so be ready for it.
Buy him on the low. I mean, obviously the reason he wasn't utilized is because they were down early and often. So if you can buy Aaron Jones, I love it. He's still a top 10 running back in fantasy. The last trade for we have is Austin Ekeler. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm actually encouraged by his performance on Sunday. He looked healthy.
You're my guy.
He's a my guy for me. He looked healthy. He looked explosive. There's 2 reasons to hope for Austin Ekeler. Number 1, Ekeler did not get a single target in this game. That will change, okay? Why was there no targets? In all honesty, Justin Herbert didn't need to dump the ball off. Washington, my favorite team, was not able to pressure him at all. He was comfortable in the pocket. This will change, okay? Number 2, goal line touches.
Ooh,
why was everyone worried about Ekeler in the offseason? The biggest fear was, well, he's not the goal line running back. What happened? The first drive, the Chargers go down on the goal line. They give the ball to Austin Ekeler. He scores a touchdown. I think he's a goal line back. I think he has a safe floor. And imagine when those pass catching opportunities start to come in PPR leagues. I still believe in Austin Ekeler. Go get him on the cheap if you can. But let's talk about some trade away targets that we have. We have 2 quick trade away targets for you, okay? Number 1 for me, Antonio Brown. He is the flavor of the week, if you will, for Tom Brady. We have said this before, but this wide receiver core feels like a Russian roulette situation.
100%.
One of these 3 wide receivers will not be good weekly, okay? AB right now, there is value. People see him as a wide receiver 1. So why don't you cash that in for something a little bit more consistent? A Robert Woods, maybe a Deontay Johnson, and Adam Thielen. I would even go T. Higgins. You know, I love T. Higgins though, so you might not be on the same page with me.
It's interesting.
But look, Antonio Brown will be valuable in fantasy. 100% he will be valuable. But for me, I don't want to have every week unknown of, will AB be the one who's laying an egg? Will it be Mike Evans?
Right.
I think Godwin's more consistent, but AB is a guy I'm looking to trade away. And you could even downgrade at wide receiver to improve in another area as well. You could use him in that kind of trade scenario as well. So I'm looking to trade away and cash in on the value for AB after week 1.
Yeah, I love it. A lot of people drafted AB as a kind of a flex option, a wide receiver 3, and he had wide receiver 1 numbers.
By the way, with these trade away targets, there has to be a disclaimer.
Yes.
This is what we are doing in our leagues. We're not saying these players are not valuable.
Right.
We're not saying they shouldn't be on your team. It's just what we would do. There is risk in every trade, but we would be looking to capitalize on that risk and trade these guys away. That's why the disclaimer is there, okay? Because anything can happen. It's just what we're doing. Who are you trading away this week, Badaki?
Yeah, my trade away person is Josh Jacobs. Look, 10 attempts for 34 yards and 2 touchdowns. By the way, that Monday night game was crazy, okay?
Oh my God.
What an absolute game. But it was clear that JJ was struggling with that foot injury. He was coming in and out of games. There was times where he went down, and I didn't think he was going to get back up. I didn't think he was going to come back into the game.
Honestly, I was like, is this guy okay? But he just kept going.
And look, honestly, personally, I just want to avoid someone that is playing with the injury, especially early in the year. That can kind of linger because all these teams are trying to push, hey, let's go week 2, week 3, and then done. Midweek or middle of the season, you're struggling to have a running back. Me personally, it's just a risk aversion. Without those touchdowns, his week would have looked a lot worse. So I'm trading away Josh Jacobs. Guys that I like a little bit better, Darrell Henderson, Miles Sanders had a good week. Guys like that I would rather have that looks like have a little bit more consistency coming into this year.
Right. Okay. I like it. Again, disclaimer, anything can happen. These are players we are trading for and trading away. Let us know in the comments if you're doing the same. Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.